The new Junction Drive boost pedal by Hynotone is great for adding clarity and articulation to your guitar tone. In fact, it does it with 4 different shades of articulation and clarity. And it also has a noise gate, and it only costs 99 bucks or euros. So let's check out this pedal, and let's start right away with a demo track. Take a listen. All right, that sounded so good. So as you heard, the Junction Drive added all the punch, all the clarity, and all the definition. Without the pedal on, the tone was pretty muddy and thick and fat. And the pedal just added all that definition and clarity that this 8-string guitar needed. So what I used there was my Ibanez FTM 33 Frederick Thorndal Meshuggah 8-string guitar, tuned to F standard, so 1/2 step down, super low notes, obviously, going into this pedal, and then going into my Invaders amplification 950 Badass amplifier. It's a really cool amplifier, but I had it set to a very thick and fat tone, which doesn't really work well with an 8-string by default, unless you use a pedal like this to add clarity and definition, which is what I did, and as you heard, it sounded really good. The amp was being fed into my Grossmann Fatbox 1x12 cabinet, my cab that I've been using for, I think, a year now. Almost every single video. Love that cab so much. I had my Eminence Karnivore loaded up in that cab, which is a great sounding speaker. Mic'd up with 3 mics, 2 SM57s, and 1 MD421 Kompakt. Sent into the DAW, and I applied a low filter at around, I think, 75 Hertz or so. So the Junction Drive, what is this pedal all about? Well, Hynotone is a cool brand. I've done some videos for other products. They have a really cool modern distortion pedal. They also have a power amp. I did videos on those on my channel. Definitely check them out. The build quality is good and the prices are very attractive as well. So $99 for a very proper boost is a great deal if you ask me. Now it's a simple pedal, as you can see, and it's JFET based. I'm not very technical, but apparently it means that the response is very organic and tube-like and natural and low noise. That is great. And I have indeed noticed that this pedal is a very low noise in comparison to other pedals. Now, a cool thing that this pedal has is a noise gate. As you can see, here is the noise gate threshold control. And according to the manual, the noise gate is also JFET, which also means that it's a very clean sounding gate and it responds to your playing dynamics, which is cool. So if you play fast chugs, for example, cha-jum, cha-jum, it's going to close fast. But when you have a sustaining note, it's going to release a little bit slower. So it's going to adapt to your playing, which is a wonderful thing. Now, of course, this pedal also has a gain knob. And I did read the manual. Yes, kids, always read the manual. According to the manual, it has different shades of tone. So at around 10 o'clock or so, it's very clean sounding and very articulate, dynamic and liquid. When you put it to, say, to a clock-ish. The tone gets more saturated, but still with a lot of clarity. And when you max out the gain control, you get a full and compressed and thicker tone. And then we also have this little focus switch over here, which changes the character of the pedal a little bit. When you set it to focus, the pedal becomes more mid-humpy and cuts some top end off, kind of like a Tube Screamer-ish. And then we also have this type switch over here with type 1 and type 2. It basically selects between two different JFET circuits, one being a bit more punchy and two being a bit more percussive. Now obviously with those two switches you have 4 different combinations, and the manual kind of explains what those combinations should sound like in theory. So again, read your manual, kids. And let me read that for you guys. Mode 1, which has the focus switch to open and type set to 2, which is, as you can see here, is similar in response to a 33 or grind. It tightens it right up and gives a mid-grind and percussive highs, maximized aggression filled with overtones. And then we have mode 2 with focus on and type set to 2. Once again, compared to mode 1, the sound is more tamed in the highs but more focused in the mid-range. Less aggressiveness makes it more versatile. And then we have mode 3 with the focus switch set to open with type 1. There we go. Inspired by Precision drive, more forward in the higher mids and lower treble. Superior string clarity, also tight and genty. All right, and then mode 4 with focus on and then type 1. Similar to typical settings of a TS9 or 808, tightens the bass but not too much, making it punchy and full. Mids are forward and focused, less aggression but more musical and flavorful. So yeah, that's basically what this pedal does, right? 4 shades of boost. You know what? Let's grab that guitar again, plug it into the same rig, and see how it sounds. Let's check it out. All right, guys. I am sitting here with my Ibanez FTM 33 Frederick Thorndahl signature 8-string guitar, going into the Hynotone Junction Drive, and that is going into the Invaders amplification 950 Badass. The amp is being fed into my Grossmann Fatbox 1x12, in which I've loaded up my Eminence Karnivore speaker just to try it out. Again, really nice speaker, mic'd up with a bunch of mics, and then sent into the DAW. And that's it. Sounds pretty killer, right? So this is the same rig and the same settings and the same guitar as you heard in the demo track. But now we're gonna play around with the controls a little bit so that you can hear what this pedal is capable of. And so right now, again, this is the tone that we have dialed in. But let me do a more 6-string oriented rock riff for a sec. All right, so that's with the pedal on, right? And let me show you how this amplifier sounds with these settings with the pedal off. So again, on. And let's turn the pedal off. So this is a very thick sounding amplifier, really sludgy and filthy. So it's a great amplifier to demonstrate this pedal. Because this pedal, as you heard, does a great job of really tightening up and focusing the tone. Just wonderful. So I think that this pedal really was made with extended range guitars in mind, like this 8-string, for example. And that's why I'm using this guitar in this video. But that doesn't mean that you can't use this pedal with a 6-string or a 7-string, but this just has a wide range, and that's why I chose it. And it's just a really sexy guitar, don't you think? Okay, first I'm going to show you the different settings with a high gain tone, and then we're going to roll back the gain a little bit to see what sort of difference that makes. Let's start with the noise gate. Now, one of the cool things about this pedal is that it is very silent, so very noise-free. Hear what happens when I turn the gate off. With the volume off. That's not bad. So the noise that you were hearing came from the pickups. I have the volume turned down all the way right now when I turn the volume up. So that's just noise from the pickups, not from the signal chain, not from the pedal, right? So it's very quiet. Now, if we want to eliminate this noise that's coming into the pickups, we just turn up the gate control. Until the noise goes away, right? So it's really nice that this pedal has an included noise gate. Let's fine tune it a little bit. Very clean, right? So that is cool. As you can see, I have the gain maxed out. Let me play around with that control a little bit. So it has an effect on the tone and obviously on the gain. But for this amplifier, for the tone that I was going for, I really like it with the tone or with the gain control maxed out. Sounds massive. Let's try the focus and open switches for a sec here. So right now it's set to open. Let's switch to focus. So it seems to reduce the top end a little bit. Yeah, so on the open setting, it sounds more open, articulate, and spanky, sort of. I prefer the open setting, at least with this guitar, right? Let's try the different types. Right now we're on type 1. Let's go to type 2. Back to type 1. So type 2 seems a little bit more aggressive to me. Now let's try type 2 with the focus switch up. So first on the open setting. And let's switch to focus. So it mellows the tone out a little bit. Now again, I prefer open and type 1. It has the perfect amount of thickness, tightness, and clarity. So that is great. All right. Now on the amplifier, what I'm going to do is turn down the gain a little bit. I've also turned the bright switch off for a bit of a different response. And we're going to try the settings again and see what happens, okay? All right, so that's on my favorite setting. Let's switch to the focus setting. So once again, open does sound more aggressive. Now let's try type 2 with the open setting. And again, type 1. And now let's try type 2 on focus. So that is definitely a bit more mellow sounding. Let's lower the drive or gain control. And when we turn the pedal off. So yeah, it brings a lot of focus to the tone. So I like this a lot. It's a really cool pedal that you can use to add clarity, punch, and tightness to your tone with the various shades. Either more aggressive, gnarly, and grindy, or a bit more mellow and mid-focused. Really cool. All right, so that was the Hynotone Junction Drive. A cool pedal with great value for 99 bucks. That's a great deal. As you can hear, it sounds great with extended range guitars. So with an 8-string or a baritone or a 7-string, I personally think it excels for that. The switches definitely add some different flavors, but it will always really tighten up your guitar tone, right? The differences between the modes are a little bit on the subtle side. I don't think that mode 4 really sounds like a tube screamer, for example. I agree that it has some of that flavor and that mode 1 has that aggressive 33 type flavor, but it will always be a boost that really tightens up the tone, if you know what I mean. So it does its thing, but in 4 different shades. The built-in gate is really nice. So it's a fun pedal for a specific purpose. And it's just cool that you can tweak it a little bit for your own application, if you know what I mean. So it's nice that they added some flavors. If you compare it to a 33, a Fortin 33 that just has like one flavor and it works well for one particular sound. And at least this pedal you can tweak and it has a gate. But it definitely has 33-ish vibes. I also kind of wish it had more gain on tap, more headroom, if you will. But it's a cool pedal. Just make sure that your amplifier already has plenty of gain on tap. As sometimes with these pedals, or mostly with these pedals, if you take away the low end to make it more tight and percussive, you also lose some gain. So if you're going to use this with an amplifier that doesn't have a lot of gain, you might not have enough gain for your desired end result. But other than that, it's a great little pedal that I really enjoy, and I think that Hynotone is making some really cool stuff, so keep an eye on them. I can't wait to see what they do next, basically. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thanks to the folks at Hynotone for sponsoring this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think of the Hynotone Junction Drive? Let me know. Also, follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons, as that really helps the channel out. And buy this pedal at Amazon. I think you can buy this on Amazon. Check out my affiliate links as well if you want to support the channel, or my own web store for quad cortex capture packs, Tonex capture packs, IRs, and all that good stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching, and hope to see you soon. Cheers.